Okay. Good evening, everyone. Let me add my guests. Happy Sunday night or evening, wherever you are. Yep, they're my guests. How is everybody doing? Happy New Year. How is everyone doing?
Oh, hi. Hi,
Happy.
Dr. Jummy.
How are you doing?
Hello. Good, good, good. Can you hear me?
Can you see me good?
Yes, I can.
Um, yes. I'm happy we did this regardless. With
Yeah.
showing up. That is the
Yeah.
thing we need to learn for 2024. We have to show up.
hmm
It will
hmm
never be convenient.
Never.
It will never. And we need to tell ourselves the truth. We're
Yeah.
doctors.
hmm
We were, as in, we run 12 hours shifts minimum.
Yeah.
Out of 12 hours, when you should give the patient maximum attention, how many hours do you now have left to
Yourself.
sleep or do your drive or take care of yourself, to do all that things that are important? But
Yeah.
as we keep saying, there's so much more to our lives than medicine. And so what
hmm
behind our minds that in this whole life, medicine will take its own, and
Yeah.
every other thing that is important in my life will take its own. We'll
Absolutely.
do better. And it's hard because we spend most of our lives being told to only prioritize medicine. I was told that
Yeah.
in medical school, all is you have to focus on is medicine. And I was a faithful, good student. I focused on medicine. I
hmm
didn't allow anything to distract me. Even when he tried, I said, I bind you. I bind you. Medicine. I have to graduate. I
Yeah.
did not finish medicine again. Entered into residency. They said, no,
Mm.
another 6 years again, only medicine.
Yeah.
So some of us tried to squeeze marriage and having children inside the residency, and we were penalized for it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I was
Yeah.
penalized. Not like there was punitive measures because I got married or had children,
Yeah.
but the system is designed such that you decide to be pregnant in residency, you're in trouble.
It's taboo. How
Or you
dare
are
you?
married as a doctor, so husband is hungry or husband is calling you, so what? And so that
Yeah.
was 6, 7 years. So literally, I'm about 15 years of my life being told to prioritize medicine. How many years
Mm.
do I now have to live another life? So I'm really hoping that we can start telling doctors from medical school. It's hard,
Mm.
but possible. And I think some doctors are actually breaking out of the mold. I see them, some say they are doing makeup, some are selling stuff. Funny enough, I sold stuff in medical school. I remember now, I actually sold
What
I think
was it?
I sold Valentine cards and
That's bougie.
plates. I sold around that. Yeah, I remember I did. I remember
That's
too.
bougie.
I sold always because I realized that sometimes at late at night,
Yeah.
this is interesting. Anyway, let me do a quick introduction because
All
someone is like,
right.
so me and Dr. Aria, we carried our offline gist to Instagram. And we want you
Yeah.
girls to be part of the gist because we talk about amazing things that
hmm
we feel can help young
mm
doctors. So
Yep.
so I sold stuff. I sold them nice greeting cards, like these Hallmark greeting cards, and I sold chocolates for Valentine. I sold a lot of nice bougie cards that you will not find. No, if I don't now, you have to go out of
We're
your
one
way.
of the bougie
So
ones
I
here.
realized that I needed this kind of fancy cards, and it wasn't available in the store. There was a store in
Yeah.
the. So like, let me just be selling it now. And I came from Lagos, so I used to sell. I sold Valentine chocolates. I still have some
Wow.
clients that are on Instagram here.
That's
Then I sold them
interesting.
always as well. So late in the middle of the night, someone knock on the door around maybe like 1 a.m. and say, Jimmy, can I get one always? I'll just say,
That's innovative, actually.
and I used the money
Yeah.
to buy. What did I buy from the money? Can't remember. I think I bought a fridge.
Uh-uh.
I can't remember. I didn't need the money per se. It was just
Yeah.
the is the entrepreneurial energy in
Uh,
me that
yeah.
I felt if there's a need, I can as well meet the need. And so yeah, I did that. But I was very quiet in medical school because I didn't want to wahala. I wanted to graduate, and that graduation was the biggest thing. I needed to graduate. So anything that would hinder graduation. So I was quiet, I was very somber, don't look pretty at all. If you try to look pretty, they will embarrass you on word rounds. So you don't look,
Yeah.
just come very modern, just pack your hair,
Nice.
no lip gloss.
Okay.
In fact, the first time I ever did colored braids was NYC. Like, I was going to do colored braids because I was like, finally, I can do colored braids. It was always just look modest, look simple. We didn't wear trousers, pants.
Yeah.
I think it's changed right now. I was telling you, right, that I got into trouble because I was caught wearing trousers at night. I was caught. No, I didn't plan to. I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
But it was late in the night, around 2 a.m. Let me go share this gist. Around 2 a.m. I was in pediatrics.
Yeah.
It didn't pain me.
Yeah.
I was in pediatrics then, so I came in skirts, like everybody else. You now pack your night bag.
Yeah.
And in my night bag, there was trousers for mosquito not to bite me and give me malaria, so I will not be sick. Good thing. So we had this patient that had Burkitt's lymphoma. I won't forget. And you know what about this lymphomas is anemia, right?
Yeah.
So this child had like a critical anemia and needed transfusion. And as a house officer, I was looking forward to keeping this child alive by increasing his activity before the ward round in the next morning, so I can impress my registrar, impress my senior registrar, impress the consultants. I went to impress them that I didn't sleep through the night, so I followed blood bank. We got the blood.
You changed the blood.
So that was my ambition. Let me give this boy blood before the morning, and I'd been on it, and I had done a good job. And so I was like, okay, they will call us when the blood is ready. I will go and get the blood. Don't worry. And they know how it is now. And then it was around like 2 a.m. I said, let me go and sleep. Then they not say when they bring the blood, I should not worry. We set the lines, right? So they'll wake us up to come and set the line to put the blood. And this boy, they've pricked him. So I was like, let me not set the line. Let's wait. That's how the nurse called me around 2 a.m. that the blood is around, though, the blood is available. I now ran. I was sleeping. I didn't realize that. Wait, Jimmy, remove the trousers first. You get where you're everything. I just jumped up from the call room and I ran to the ward.
Yeah.
Let's say this
line. I what you're saying.
Before the rounds in the morning. At the time consult, the nurse called me. It was a big deal. They had also called the registrar that blood is available. Everybody was excited. That's how the registrar walked into the ward. She didn't even say, house officer, well done, good job. The first thing she said is, why are you wearing trousers on the floor? My brain was like, auntie, calm down. This is around like 2, 3 in the morning. We finally got blood for this little boy with Burkitt's lymphoma. You didn't say, well done, no. Her problem was my trousers. And she didn't even allow me to explain to her. She just walked out of the ward. That was when I was in trouble. Can you imagine? I didn't know whether the line or whether she set the line. I was looking at the nurse. We just continue the line.
Yeah.
I did at that point so stressed out. So I called a colleague of mine and I would call her out. Yeah. But we did house job together. Dr. Yetunde.
Okay.
I said, could you please help me finish this line? You can imagine patient's life and trousers. I said, could you please finish this line? I need to go and change into my skirt. So I ran to the call room and to the ward to change my skirt. Only for me to get a message later on that I was supposed to be at the round the next morning, later in the day. I said, why can't I be at the round? I said, because I big word in the letter that they wrote, because I can't remember the word right now, but I came to
you broke the rule.
I broke the rule and did call in trousers.
There you.
I hadn't slept, because of course the whole rest. We finally got the IV line.
Yeah.
I was just shaking. I was afraid that, hey, I'm a house officer. How will I explain it? I was trying to save this boy's life. You know, and so I couldn't sleep when I went back to my room. I couldn't sleep. And then I saw, and of course, I didn't imagine the round that I did the Wala overnight. I couldn't join the round because I wore trousers. Anyway, so I now went for the, what's it called? That morning review thing we do. That's how I won't call his name out. The professor announcing about insubordination and doctors breaking the rule, and that particular doctor, she should not come near this pediatrics department. She's on 1 month suspension. Hey, I said 1 month suspension. So I was on the corridor That's how
Interesting.
I did not
Interesting.
know. I was like,
Mm.
I'm going to bring out some issues in this particular thing that's really important.
Yeah, yeah, issues actually.
I hadn't slept about 24 hours yet.
Yeah.
And I was hanging around in my watch coat, like, so there are a lot of things in my head. I didn't think about my rights. It was more about, we saved a life. Come, I did not break the law. I was trying, it was just like, my mind was just fuzzled. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I couldn't join the word round. So I missed the word round. I was not supposed to be on the word round with that registrar. I couldn't have the review. So after the morning review, I now went to the office of the head of department. You said when he chased me, you know, say, you get out of here, get out of here. That's how he chased me. So I ran. Oh God, I was like, what do we do? I went back to my friends after Shira finished round. I was just hanging around. Imagine a whole day. I was hanging around the whole department. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't go back to my room. I couldn't eat. I hadn't slept. That what wahala is this? It was about nearly 36 hours without sleep. I was so tired. Anyway, so she now said she will write a letter to, corroborate that she saw me because I called her and we will get the matron on the ward to write letter. The nurse will write letter. I will write letter. Unfortunately, the registrar was the one that reported me. So, she was the one that caught me. So she now wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to, she wrote a letter. We got the nurse to write letter. All of us submitted our letters to the man. He didn't reply. Day 2, no reply. Day 3, And I went to the secretary of the department. We have all these mummies as secretary. And I went there. And I knelt down. I said, mommy, please help me beg the HOD. Help me beg him, please. That I did not break the rule. I just, she said, don't worry, that she will tell me when to come. So I will now go and hang around her office. Imagine. Then me and her now went there one day. I think that maybe 2 days afterwards. And also about like 5 days. That was like already a whole week.
Interesting.
I think she had talked to him or something. So me and the secretary, we now went inside his office. We now knelt down together, like Nigerian girl kneel down. I now started crying. She was like, just be crying. I was really crying.
Doctor.
I cried. Not mucus, tears, spit. That's how I was crying. She was also kneeling down. We were both kneeling down. We were begging him that please forgive her. She's a child. Omode no shame. He now said, okay, that's fine. That's no problem. That I can go back to the wards. But I should not try that kind of insubordination again. Rules are rules. That's how I left his office. I said, thank you, Jesus. Now, let me just say this before I now talk about the lesson from this.
Yeah. There's so much.
The resident doctor that walked in because she was also called, her blood was ready, was a female doctor. Female doctor. She was a resident doctor, young resident doctor. I was a house officer. She wasn't a senior registrar. She was the one that went to go report that broke the road, that was wearing trousers. That was the female doctor that threw me under the bus. Number 1. Number 2 is that life happened. I finished my housemanship. I did NYSC and I started residency the year after NYSC. I started residency in 2009, February. And then I was preparing for my part 1 exams to be senior registrar in 2011. I did residency in Lagos, by the way, so I wasn't in Ibadan anymore. In fact, so many PTSD in Ibadan. I was just like, I was done with Ibadan, so I went to Lagos to resident. Anyway, so I had to do some rotations in surgery and O&G at some points. And of course, we do our updates in Ibadan. Long story short, so I was preparing for my part 1 exam and I was in Ibadan at that time, maybe for an update or something. And so situations happened. I was in ARD lounge in Ibadan as a resident doctor, anyway, even though I was not a Ibadan resident. And interestingly, so let me put this in. My husband was doing residency in O&G in Ibadan at that time. So he was also in ARD lounge. And they were waiting for the pediatrician so they could go into the surgery to do a cesarean, an emergency cesarean. And he was waiting to talk to the pediatrician, who was a resident doctor, to make sure that she was available. Then they can both go in together. And then when he does the surgery, he will give the baby to the pediatrician. So he was waiting to settle before he goes in. Good thing. So I was inside the ALD lounge, just chilling, waiting for my husband, who was trying to call the pediatrician, and she was running late because she was also reading for the same part 1 exam I was reading for. So we didn't know where she was. Eventually, she comes saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm trying to do my part 1 exams. I didn't pass the initial exams. You know how the exams are." So she was doing her part 1. And alas, the same registrar that reported me to the head of department that got me a 1-month suspension, that thankfully, because I had to go and kneel and start crying and prayer.
Yeah.
That was the registrar.
Mm.
So me and her were doing the same part 1 exam.
Okay.
You see life.
Yeah, interesting.
And she looked at me. And I looked at her again like, hey, this life. So a situation happened that me and you will be on the same level in life.
Yeah.
Because you decide to be the agent that will truncate my own destiny because I was wearing trousers on the floor. And you didn't even wait to even ask what happened or how. Okay, let's assume I was insubordinate or I disobeyed. Did you do? Doctor, why are you wearing trousers? You know, don't do that again. No, you're going to change. Cover me.
Yeah.
Your junior, teach me, mentor me, guide me. No. Instead, you have to go and report to those house officers again. They have come.
Yeah.
I was that house officer.
Mm.
You know, we made eye contact and I just shook my head at, this life. Anyway, I don't know where she is. I
Yeah.
wish I had feelings, but that is a lesson. That's a
Yeah.
lesson on one side. Number 2 is that, is it even fair that mosquito should bite female doctors and male doctors should not bite them?
What's the big deal about wearing trousers, though? I don't know.
So,
Do you think it's a cultural thing?
you are Ibadan house officer, let me
Yeah.
know. I didn't change the law.
Oh, okay.
But as of 2007,
Yeah.
it was okay for mosquitoes to bite us female doctors at night.
Was
But
it a
the male
religious
wear trousers.
thing, or they just didn't want you?
And it was not even like work hours. Let's assume it's okay, wear skirts during the day. How about at night, work
Yeah.
hours? That's my number 1 question. I believe that it might have been changed.
Yeah, sure. Because that sounds archaic to me.
Then number 2 is that I had to kneel down and be crying.
Yeah.
Even now, thank God that was my own part. For some other people, it has to be maybe through other means, sexual
I've had the door
harassment.
slammed in my face before. Sorry, Dr.
What
Jummy,
did you
sorry.
say?
I've had the door slammed in my face
Oh, right.
before, like by a consultant. It's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
from
honestly,
where to where?
do you get?
It just slammed the door in my face. Yeah, in Nigeria. I've had it all slammed in my face. I'm like, okay, so how do I take the lessons, or how do I get reproached if you think I've done something wrong? How do you correct me if you slam the door in my face? In the name of Almighty consultant, don't talk to
You
me.
get? As in, that's just one of the many ridiculous stories that happened in my life. In this our journey. But you know,
Mm,
in retrospect, mosquito bites me because I'm female. But the
no,
men,
no.
the
Yeah, because it gets to
relation of kneeling down, crying, begging you. I had to be kneeling down, as in seriously. I didn't do anything wrong. My job was done. I wasn't just after I was caught after hours by a resident doctor who I'm sure she regrets her action. So those are the things that I believe that may have changed, which is good.
yeah.
But
Hopefully, hopefully.
hopefully, but if it's not even has in our faces,
Mm,
if they're still to situations like that, I feel it's unfair and it should be called out. And I feel that young doctors should feel comfortable knowing that their seniors are looking out for them. As I
yeah.
said on my post, medicine is apprenticeship. We learn from observation. I learned to suture by watching you suture. I learned how to address patients. I learned how to palpate. Everything I've learned about medicine or auscultating is because you said this is how it sounds.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's a lot of AI tools out there now, a lot of videos, 3D, 4D. It cannot replace that personal contact.
No.
And from watching you, I learned your mannerisms and I was like, oh, I like the way this doctor carries herself or relates with patients. Can you mentor me? Can you teach me? Can I learn how you do it? And so
Mm,
give us access to learn all that without putting a brashness as well to it. Let us learn from you. We're not going to disrespect you because we come close to you. We want you to mentor us and show us the way. So those are one of the things that I feel is important. And I think it's a self-reflective thing. We need to determine. I experienced the two sides. There was a male professor, consultant, I mean, the head of department, and a female senior doctor. So it's not like we're just talking to female doctors alone. We're talking to both sides of the divide. But as you said, you've also experienced
Uh,
life.
I've experienced, yeah, I've had my fair share of what's is it the African thing? I don't know. I'm not attacking Africans or
I
Nigeria,
know.
but it's just, I think it's a cultural thing where, and you know, when you're in the Rome, you behave like the Romans, but obviously some things that are done to could be quite oppressive. And
I
there was
also
a time,
also there's a lot of suppressive things as
so
well. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Such that when you leave that environment and go somewhere else where you're supposed to show a lot of self-respect, show that I actually know your worth, and it's so hard to come out of that place where you've been subdued. You've been told, sit down there, shut up, don't talk. How dare you talk to me? How dare you wear trousers? How dare you challenge my opinion? You know, how dare you do this? And you're like, you don't even know what to think anymore. You don't know what to, what you uphold as an opinion because they've told you what you should be thinking, literally.
They
So
don't
you
want
cannot,
they don't want your opinion as in
yeah. So you can't innovate. You can't come up with any ideas, anything to create change because it's a status quo. This is how things should be done. And it doesn't just come from our colleagues, it comes from other people too, who tells you, who looks at you and like, oh, because you're the doctor, right?
I think that behavior also when they see your colleagues or your seniors
Yeah.
do such condescendingly, it gives other professions the opportunity
Mm,
and the permission to
mm,
also treat you bad as well. Now,
mm.
and before I was able to get access to the head of department to go kneel down and start crying
Yeah.
and begging him. All I had to go through before the mommy now said, "Ma worry, come, let's go together." There was a lot of talking to one secretary here, one PA here, one driver here, one. I had to go beg the nurses to write letter for me. Imagine me having to beg the nurses to write letter to corroborate that they saw me come in at so time, and when I came in, truly she wasn't wearing trousers. And you can imagine the nurse saying, "Ah, okay," and nurse
Such a
was
waste of time.
like the junior nurse on the shifts at the night shift. So when the doctor is going to beg nurse, say, "Mommy, please, ma, can you please write a letter to corroborate that I didn't do anything wrong?" Of course, she has the confidence to talk to a doctor anyhow tomorrow now. Say, "You that they're already
Yeah.
messing." So
Yeah.
give us the respect that we deserve. Oh,
Yeah.
in the profession, the way you treat us.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such a waste of time, waste of resources, waste of, I don't know. Yeah. And it also doesn't, it says a lot about how much we value patients too, because we get to put doctors through such turmoil. How do you expect them to show up for their patients
Telling me.
when they've had to go beg the clerk, go beg the secretary to appeal to one medical elder? Yeah. I hope the culture has changed.
I,
I do hope.
and if it has changed, is it
Hmm.
because there's a lot of advocacy, or is it because people are just speaking up and fighting and just, or is it because there's a lot of migration outside and so people are just leaving it toxic? And
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think that those are discussions I feel we need to have
Yeah.
because you know how many doctors are quitting medicine. It's not because they don't love the profession. It's because
Mm.
they can't deal with this. I came into medicine as a teenager. I was about 17, 18, and that was all I knew. So all my mentoring in
Yeah.
speaking, in showing up, in dressing up, in being confident, in
Mm.
everything that built me was medicine.
Yeah.
Sadly, most of my building was negative. Was most of the equipment I got was negative. It was all
Mm.
my self-esteem. It was silencing me. I was always told to shut up every time. Like I'd go, shut up, you shut up. You're stupid, idiot. Idiot. You want to kill the patient, idiot. You start your day. You don't even put perfume. Before they say my perfume is disturbing my patient. You know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, who at 18 is even afraid to put a lip gloss on.
Mm. Mm.
Married my aunt or my mom. My mom was like, this nice shoe, I bought it for you. I saw this shoe. I said, Mom, don't buy red shoe. I want only black and gray. and it must be flat with just
Yeah.
no less I draw attention to myself. Everything must be modest, you know. I was a black and gray girl. Because I didn't want anybody to notice me.
No color.
Notice you and call you out. You pack your hair very tight like this. You pack your hair, everything looking so sober. Just like you don't notice you. So you don't offend nobody. Start airing. And so your personality itself is so suppressed.
Yeah.
And then they're giving you a personality of like I told every day, you don't qualify. You don't qualify. You won't be here at all. That's what you're told every day.
All you need is 50.
At
Just get
50, Duncan line.
Yeah.
I'm told my prayer point is let me graduate, oh, let me graduate. God, please, if I graduate, I will serve you. I will not sing again. Father, Lord, please, I need to graduate. Oh, that was all I had from 17 to 25 or 26. And I didn't have a receipt. It was fear. I was always afraid. Who did I offend? Is that, and you know, imagine putting that in, I don't know, in my generation of my sets, maybe 2 years, my seniors. So that's about over 10,000 of us that, I don't know, I think you damaged us in our emotions and our confidence. You can imagine us trying to find our voices later in our 40s and 50s. That's a lot of that. Now, so many of obviously perpetuate this because that was the pattern. Only few will say this has to change. Like not on my watch. Like I determined that this has to change because that's another IG live. That was medical stress I enjoy, you know. Residency. Ha. Let me stop here. So I want us to start having this discussion so that doctors know that some of us are safe. We will hear you, and we don't want you to quit medicine. You can't quit medicine. You can't. You can't. What should you say? You came into because you want to save lives, and there's so need to be saved. There's so negative. When you say negative doctor-patient ratio right now, and we negative when it comes to specialists. So when some of us are so burnt out, like, I won't just be just general doctor. Not because we don't have, so people truly want to be generalists, like just love university, and because of that, they decide they want to just be family medicine doctors, GPs. Amazing. But you now choose to do that just as convenience. As in, more women are asking for female gynecologists right now. More women are female obstetricians right now. But you are so burnt out, you're like, I'm not even doing it again. Because there's nobody to tell you it's okay or to speak for you, advocate for you. I said, not on my watch. One young doctor will be harassed. I was harassed in any of, and I got harassed in all the harassment ways. I will speak up for her because it is unfair. Nobody spoke up for me. Oh, he was crying.
Was the word class that spoke up?
Cry. Oh, now it's you cry. You call everybody. You say, "I just daddy." You call the consultant, daddy, just daddy, just. It's so embarrassing laughing at it right now. But
it is.
That's reality.
It's quite embarrassing.
So I want us to be able to tell many young doctors that are graduating that even if you want to japa and say I'm quitting, it's not glorious on side two. It's not as if it's fun there. Even those spaces they are saturated. Not going to create space for you. So the one you have done for 7 years, heal and let's refire. I got burnt out. That in my mind I was like, I'm done with medicine. But I thank God that I was able to heal and I'm loving medicine again. And so if you are there and you're like, I'm done, please don't be done yet. Just calm down. We can heal. I healed. As in I healed. You will heal. You will find your passion again and you'll be an asset and a blessing to the generations even yet unborn. And so that's the journey even to Gawain, where we can actually start speaking on empowerment for female, telling them that, hey, your empowerment is your voice, your empowerment is your community, your empowerment is, support. Your empowerment is, your story is valid. Nobody's calling you a liar. Your experience is real. We acknowledge the fact that has been your experience and provide support. I'm wiser. Many of the things that happened to me were in my 20s and my 30s. Of course, I had some happen in my 40s because I did another recipe. But there's a benefit of hindsight of how things can be done differently. And there are many people that are, who also want to help you have a better experience. So don't hide them. Don't feel bad, and don't go say, I'm done. I'm not doing it again. Do. Your parents went through so much to pay your school fees. Some of them sold land to pay your medical. Don't quit and say, I'm not doing it again. Don't quit. Eh? And that's why I'm having this discussion. I'm putting myself out there, Dr. Ami as well. We have a network, and we're happy to have you come on the network, and we just support you through healing, finding your why in medicine, setting strategic plans towards rejuvenating again in medicine, and just being empowered to just fly and just enjoy the journey of taking care of the people that you love. Do you have any parting words, Dr. Ari? I think we've really gone so much.
So yeah, there's a lot to be said, a lot to advocate for, obviously. And so this is a call to every young African early career, not even early career, your medical students, your mid-career doctor out there. Darwin is coming. You're coming, we're coming, we're coming, we're coming. And I'm super excited. I'm so excited to be part of this movement. You don't know the extent to which I am, Dr. Jimmy, but I'm very, very excited about Darwin. And if you've not heard of Darwin before, it's the Global Africa Women in Medicine Summit, and it's coming up on the 8th of March 2025, live in Lagos, Nigeria. We're also going to have an online session as well for those in the diaspora, or if you just prefer to attend online. Yeah, looking forward to having you there. So that's the place to be. It coincides with International Women's Day. So for us as women in medicine, that's our event of the day. And it's an event that you want to take part in. Get your tickets, get your notepads ready, prepare your mind, and just come and get empowered. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, have a good week.
Yeah.
And so let's start buying your tickets now. It's the Global Africa Women in Medicine Summit. If you're a woman in medicine, if you're a surgeon, you're a physician, I think we're all the same, but that's another discussion. Public health, research, you're in HMO, health insurance, you're in policy and advocacy, even if you're a medical elder, come let's be your young mentees and abroad. Let us ignite your passion again. Let's have a good time. It's our day, and we just love to celebrate all of you. I'm a product of medical elders. I'm an elder's daughter, so medicine is me. I'm Omoiniwa. So let's have a good together. It's going to be a good one, and yeah, we'll continue to show up on IG Live, having spontaneous discussions like this. Okay.
All right. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye. How do I turn this off? Okay, I'm not sure what to do, but